What's up, everybody? My name is Galston Anthony, the best to ever do it. And today in studio, I got somebody whose last name has a legacy of note, a colossal sign of greatness, a sign of iconic and even legendary. The last name has worked into people's homes and hearts of the South Africans and even worldwide. If we say this last name, you think of someone that's from a musical family and more. Or is it? Today, I got somebody pretty special. Her name is Gemma Fassie. What up, girl? How you doing?
Hi, I'm good here.
Now, you probably get this question all the time. I just want to deep get into it. You get this question all the time. Your last name. Was that your mom?
No, sure it's not my mom.
Okay, so the great Brenda Fasy. We know that last name to be, pretty big. And how you related to her?
She was my grandfather's sister.
Granddad's sister. So you from the lineage of the Fasy. So if it was a sister, that means your dad and her were siblings.
She is my dad's aunt.
Gotcha.
My grandfather's sister, yeah.
Gotcha. So you'd be a great niece.
Yes.
Okay, I see. Okay, now you have this pressure, or I assume have this pressure of that last name. So because she was Brenda Fassie the Great, the assumption is you had it good from day one.
Yep.
Oh, you had it good? Where was
that's
I?
the assumption. I'm agreeing with that's the assumption.
Okay, now tell me what is the reality of the situation? Did you like grow up with her? Did she give you some pointers? Do you have a cosign by her? Like what's happening?
Interesting. No, I'm from Cape Town. Grew up in Seawinds. It's like on the Cape Flats with my mom, my grandmother, my grandfather. Yeah, that's where I grew up in Lavender Seawinds.
All right, so in that regard, she wasn't there to mentor you. Because here's a crazy thing is that you were too young to even know her.
Well, I've heard her music on TV. I remember watching her performances on TV, but I've never met her in person.
Okay, so when you saw her music on TV, and I'm guessing you were pretty young, like 3, 4, 5, 6, did you know, oh, that's Auntie Brenda?
No, I didn't.
So what was it like?
I didn't know her. I think only when, because my grandmother didn't allow us to watch normal TV at home. In a Christian household back then, it was like, you can't watch devil's TV. So it would always be on, like gospel channels or CCFM if you're from Cape Town. So the times where I saw on TV was when I would visit my friends or visit my friends. That's the only time I would see, but it wasn't even like I knew. Only when I think I was maybe 9, 10 was when I found out. I don't even remember who told me. I don't even remember who told me. So yeah.
Okay, so you didn't have like the whole nudge, hey, that's your auntie, tell her I say hi.
Yeah. No.
None of that.
No.
But what's crazy is that I don't know how you decided to have like an uncanny resemblance of her. Like what happened? Was it you guys drank the same water? Like
I have no idea. I just woke up one day and people looked at me and said, "You look like Brenda." So I was like, "Okay, cool."
Okay. But let's take it. Let's rewind back. Let's. Here is young Gemma. She is 4, 5, 6 years old, and she finds her talent is singing. I believe in this picture that we'll display here is you holding a microphone the size of your body.
Literally.
And that's you singing.
Yeah.
Like what happened that you got a microphone?
Well, that image is actually so nostalgic because my Sunday school teacher actually sent it to me back in 2020 when she was going through a couple archives. And then I asked her the exact story and she was like, "Girl, we forced you to be on that stage." So basically my Sunday school has anniversaries every year. So the Sunday school kids take over the service. So they pray, they do the money, they do the benediction, the offering, the sermon. Like we literally do everything. And we prepare 2 months in advance. So we have rehearsals every Saturday and Sundays during church. And then my Sunday school teacher luckily lived, well, my Sunday school teacher, she lived like around the corner from my grandmother's. And I still remember names. Her name's Blendina. I haven't seen her in such a long time. And she was like, I don't remember this. I wish I remember the song, the exact song. I should actually ask her. But she came to the house and she was like, we want you to sing the song. Well, she wants me to sing the song. I was me, shy little Gemma. I remember in my grandmother's kitchen. I was like, no, and I was crying. Like, I don't want to do it. Because I used to be a little bit shy, but not like super shy, but I was definitely shy. And she was like, no, you're doing this song. She would come over and practice with me. And then on the day, I was crying. I was like, no, I don't do this. And then she would just like go. And after that, see, I remember like seeing everyone just stand up, like a standing ovation after I sang. It was so cool. And after that, I think that was when my confidence in the church grew. But outside of church, nah, I didn't really sing like that.
Okay. But then I believe that because you're from a Christian family, your mom was the worship leader.
Mm-hmm.
So she also conducted choirs as well, or leading the choir of some sort. So I'm guessing it was a pass down of talent or a pass down of inspiration to sing.
Definitely. My mom was part of, I think it's New Birth. Back then was like a Christian choir. They would like travel around Western Cape and also do a lot of shows like church conferences and whatever. So I would always see my mom go to rehearsals. My aunt was also in the worship team. Eventually, then I ended up being part of the worship team. So low key, like most of my music knowledge and my love for music comes from my mother.
And your brother is also a musician. He's older than you are. So did he pick up instruments also that young, or was it along the way?
My brother loved music for a very long time. Like I remember I'm not gonna say his secrets. Let me chill.
I mean, build him.
No, like back then, my brother used to look like Chris Brown and like the young Chris Brown, the baggy tee, the baggy pants with the Timberlands.
Okay.
I looked up to my brother, and I still do. Like he was like, yo, I like my puta was like my best friend, and he still is up until this day. Um, yeah. So just that moments of him, loving music that much, the Chris Brown era, like back then, and I think when he was starting high school, because I'm from the hood, like if you know the hood, we have Klopse every year around the 1st and 2nd of Jan, Tweede Nuwe Jaar, and so he started joining the Klopse, the minstrels, and from there, like sometimes I would watch him. Yeah, so he's always been doing music and playing trumpet. Funny enough, my father also played trumpet, so it's kind of trumpet keys also. So it's cool to see him also do something like that, and not even knowing that you're following any steps. Maybe you knew, maybe didn't know, but it's so cool to see him also follow in that steps.
In that footsteps. Well, look, I'm going to ask a little bit about your dad, but not now, a little bit later. But I know it's a very sensitive topic, so I'll be very careful in how I ask those questions. But let me go back to, the childhood version of you. Here you are, your mom, your dad, your brother, and you. All of you are musicians, but you guys live in the Cape Flats. Now, here's a little explanation for those people that don't understand what the Cape Flats is, because we think it's one place.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not one place. It's actually a large area. Probably starts from like Athlone. Athol? Was it Athlone?
No, it's even further than Athlone. It starts like in Lavender Hill. I think mine is where it starts because Muizenberg is on that side, and then it goes all the way around to Manenberg and
Mitchell's Plain,
all
right?
those.
All the way. So it's a large portion there, and we understand that it's a very impoverished portion
Yeah, definitely.
of South Africa. So your mom is getting by with minimum wage, or let's not call it minimum wage, but we're low wages.
Yeah.
Trying to get by and taking 2 kids to school and making sure that
To a
she
good
manages.
school, a white school, a very good school, Model C school.
Yeah, let's call it a Model C school. That's what they call it here. And trying to manage that and still make sure that her kids are well brought up, given that condition. What was it like? Tell me from that high school point, what was it like knowing that you have talent, know that your mom is going through the most and trying to get out of the hood, so to speak? Give me that story.
I mean, for me, like even in let me start in junior school because that was when majority of my life was on the Cape Flats because we moved when I was in grade 9. We moved out of the Cape Flats to Plumstead, which is a better area.
Yeah, Plumstead's
know,
pretty good.
way-
Right next to Constantia.
Yes, definitely. So I think in junior school, being from the hood, my mom, we had a separate entrance. My mom and I lived together behind people's houses. It was like twice. And for me, that was life for me. Like for me, that wasn't anything. I didn't have any less. I had love. I had food. I had my mom. I had my brother. I had my grandparents. I had my cousins. I had everyone, everything that I need. It's crazy how when you're a kid, money doesn't even phase you at all. So when I was in primary school, um, a lot of the kids that I went to school with, they had their moms, their dads, they had money, their parents had cars, they had nice lunches, they had good lives. So for me, um, it wasn't something that phased me all the time. But I think when I got to high school, that was when I realized, like, yo, I'm actually missing out on a lot of things. Like okay, I had a BB BlackBerry, and I had like a
I
Nokia
almost thought you
Express
said
Music.
BBL. It's like, whoa, you had a BBL?
So yeah, like from a very young age, growing up in the K flats didn't really phase me up until my mom was like, I think she started seeing my older cousins that were boys go through whatever they went through, and also the friends that I used to play with. They also started getting involved in other things, in like indulging in different type of things. You know how the hood is. And she saw that, and she didn't want me to grow up in that. So then she moved me out of there. We moved out, finally got a 2-bedroom apartment. And yeah, I finally had my own bed. I was so happy. But I would wake up every morning early just to make up my bed because I had a bed.
Your own bed finally. Now, many Black communities, colored communities, the homes are separated, right? Your father not being there, how did it affect you?
Um, it didn't. It didn't.
Are you sure?
It really didn't. No, I'm trying to think because it really didn't. For a long time, like even there's also a picture. I'll even show you that picture later. There's a picture of my grandfather and I at my um grade R Father's Day. And all the kids are asking me, why does your dad have gray hair? Why is kids are, especially white kids. Uh, like they were like, why is your dad so old? And that was my grandfather. Like for me, it was like, no, this is my dad. Like he was the guy that filled that position and did it perfectly. Like he would pick me up, So for me, I didn't really feel like I didn't have a dad. Or not didn't have a dad, I didn't have a father in the household because my grandfather really showed up, and I think maybe my brother felt it a bit more, but as a girl, I didn't really feel it because my grandfather was there and he's still there. I love you.
Now, at that time, you in your teenage years, did you know who Bongani was?
No.
How did you get to know about Bongani? Because remember, in the beginning of this podcast, we spoke about how, by the name Fassie, we think, okay, you co-superstarred along the way. You and Brenda hung out and all, and you probably knew Bongani, and your guys probably sat in the studio. But that was not the case. But how did you end up knowing he exists?
I low-key always knew he existed because the songs that he, um, wrote with Dales and all those people, Ishmael, yeah, right? Um, I low-key always knew about him, but I think when I first met him, this time when I found out about him, I think it was 2019. And I was like, oh, that's family. I didn't know the relation yet. I just knew that, okay, cool. That's Brenda's son. And then I met him when Aunt Lindy passed away, which was in 2021 or
Mhm.
2020. I can't
Clarify
remember.
who Auntie Lindy is.
She was Brenda's sister.
Got ya.
But I knew
So
Uncle.
your guys met at a funeral.
Yes, I met him at a funeral. But I knew Uncle Temba. Uncle Temba is Brenda's brother. So I always knew him. We still keep in touch. So the Fassie family was there. Like I know Uncle Temba, I would always see him. But it wasn't like, yeah.
So you got to meet him at a funeral, and it's like, okay, this is official. Now the question becomes: is that the Fassi family existed? did you grow up as a Fassie? Or given that your mom was single, did you grow up like under your mom's umbrella and then later adopt Fassie?
I grew up under my mom's umbrella, yes, under my mom's care, my mom's side of the family. And then only when I decided to eventually start taking music a bit serious was when someone told me, just add Fassie, it will add that special spice.
Right.
Was the-
But either way, it was your lineage. So
Exactly.
so here you meeting Bongani, and I'm guessing it's a sad moment.
Yeah.
A couple of days later, you guys call each other. You guys, what's transpired out of your relationship?
Well, I think at that time we had met, life was kind of weird because we just came out of lockdown. So life was weird. I was also still in Cape Town doing my own thing, and Bongani would keep in touch here and there. And I think that was when I started following him on social media, and he was like, "Oh, you sing? Like, you do music as well?"
Oh, so you didn't meet you knowing you sang. You found out a lot
I
later.
think maybe he did, but when he followed me, he was like, "Oh, you actually like putting it out there, And that's when I randomly just post. I came here to do uh, a brand event, and I stayed here for like a month. I was supposed to stay here for a week, well, 2 days, and then I ended up staying here for like a month, and then I just randomly did a video, and then he posted that video.
Okay, before we get to that place where it gets viral, let's go right back to high school, right? Sorry for the whole zigzagging thing. Now you're in high school and you figured you're going to be an artist someday. You grade 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What was it like in that environment? Did people know you were Fosse at that stage? And I mean, scholars, they didn't know that. They had no idea.
No,
So you hit that from people.
I purposefully hid it. Yeah, purposefully hid it. I didn't think it had any.
Mhm.
I didn't think it held any weight. I really didn't.
When you say you think it didn't have weight, could that also mean that you didn't want to deal with the pressures of the society at that time, saying you should be more or you got to live up to that name?
I'm actually thinking like, why did I not say it? I didn't think it mattered. Funny enough, like you would expect me to have spoken about it so many times and say, "Oh, I'm related," but I really didn't. I only told like a couple friends, and I was like, oh, "Okay, cool." Like when we were younger, but
Mhm.
I guess also I was also in an environment where we were colored and white people and some blacks, so it wasn't the demographic just didn't understand.
And considering the time that Brenda probably passed away for a long time at the time. Yeah, and that generation didn't know Brenda like the much earlier generation. So, although they understood there was a superstar that existed, she wasn't a superstar at that moment.
Yeah, she was already like she already passed. Yeah, interesting. I'm actually thinking why I didn't mention it for such a long time. Wow.
Okay. Now you an artist. When did you start going to studio? Was it your first time in high school? Did you guys have a clique? Did you guys start a band? What happened? Because your claim to fame, so to put it, didn't just start from Bongani. There was a whole trail. You did some TV shows as well. So tell me about that.
Wow, the trail goes um back to 2011, like when I met a couple friends, um and we would record in we met at youth. We happened to get along. They were just boys, and back then trapping was like cool, like 16 years old swag dudes like trapping. And I met them and they were like, "Yo, we heard you sing, like, let's record something." And I went to their place, and we were recording off a lapel mic with the sock
So this is what
over,
y'all did. Y'all did this.
literally with the lapel mic with the soccer with the metal thingy. Like we made like a circle with it, and they put a sock over pantyhose, and then the lapel thingy would be on the cupboard. Like the headphones would be on this side and that side, and the lapel would be out, and then that's how we would record. And we made our first couple of songs. I would just listen to them and watch them sometimes because I don't really rap. I just know how to sing. So that's where it starts. I think they're the people that not started it, but started making me realize that, okay, cool. I don't only have to like perform live. I can also start recording. And also, I want to take you a little bit further back. So many moments come back to me every day. I'm like, yo, because one of my friends, my old friends in my place where I grew up in, messaged me, and she was like, "It's so cool to see," because I haven't seen her since I was probably like 12. And she's like, "It's so cool to see you doing something that you've been doing for a very long time." So in the hood where we lived, we'd have fashion shows in the road. So they would build like a little stage and we had fashion shows. And I remember seeing at that fashion show, I think I was 7, 8 years old. And also like the uncles, when the uncles get drunk, they would ask me to sing Lieflin, like a nice Afrikaans song. Like the people would just ask me to sing where I live, to be honest. So yeah, that's where it starts. I think it's beautiful that it started at home and eventually it went out when I started meeting people and also having friends. My confidence grew. I was also in school choir. So I think it started recording at age 12,
And is this before you did Hectic Nanan?
way before.
So you already knew that you were going to be a singer. That was that.
No, I didn't. I was my hobby.
Oh, it was a hobby. So people just brought you to the studio and you were
Yeah,
just
it was
experimenting.
just a hobby.
Okay.
I
Because
was
at that point you were still a church gospel singer or a choir singer, so to put it.
Yeah, but didn't really faze me that I was a church gospel singer, but I was singing in church. That was one of them.
All right. And then after doing studio, how do you get to Hectic Nanan?
I wouldn't say that I was insecure about myself or had a low self-esteem, but I wasn't as confident. So I remember always wanting to do things, especially like sing, but I never really motivated myself or felt like I'm good enough because I know other people that can do it better than me. Like, why am I even trying to do it? So I stopped singing for a bit. And then in grade 9, I'd met this girl. Her name's Andrea. Shout out Andrea. She was the person that was like, Gemma. So these people were actually at our school. Sorry for being all over the place. I'm just
Yeah,
my
yeah,
brain's like
right. So you met Andrea and then she was like, let's start a girl band.
yeah.
So it was just the two of you or was there a third person?
So at the time, it was just the two of us when we auditioned. We made it through to the second round.
Who was Beyonce? Who was Kelly?
She was Beyonce.
She was the Beyonce.
She was in grade 11. I was in grade 9.
Okay. So
So
you were Kelly.
she could do all the runs.
Yeah.
Me, I could just sing melody and harmonize great, but she could do all the runs. She knew more songs than me. She just had that maturity in her voice. She still does. She just has that maturity in her voice. So for me, I was a cute little shy girl, and then my bigger sister would be singing with me, which was Andrea. We made it through to the second round, and eventually she had met. I don't know how this happened, but we met 2 other people. We needed like instruments.
So you had 2 other Michelles.
No, 2 other Beyonce.
2 other Beyonces. So there were
2
3
Michelle.
Beyonces and you were Kelly.
Yeah, and then one, I don't know what he was, but uh, and then we eventually started a group. We wanted to be a Christian group, like a Christian youth group.
Mm.
And then what did we do? Yeah, we were still doing this competition. One was playing keys, the other one sometimes played guitar, but she would also sing with me. Then there were 2 Beyoncés, Andrea and another person. And then we would sing at like church events and whatever. And then I remember we made it to the finals of this competition. It was at South Peninsula High School. It was called Unseen Stars. It was such a cool experience because that was when my confidence was like booming. Like, oh, okay, cool, I can sing. But at the time, the reason I was always in groups was because I wasn't confident. I didn't like being in the limelight. I wasn't confident enough. Like, I would literally freak out. So the reason I was always in groups was because it just made me feel more comfortable. And that ended up in me always being the person that's not seen. Like, they would always take the limelight because they can sing better, they have more confidence, they move better,
Considering they were also older than you were.
Exactly. So then we ended up getting to the finals and something weird happened where I was just tired. Like, yo, I named this group.
Okay.
I started this group. And now you guys want to treat me less than when you just came here and I arranged some of the song, I arranged most of the mashups because we used to do mashups.
And you want to treat me like Michelle?
You know what I mean? You want to treat me less than? Like, nigga, no. So basically, I got mad. Our performance was terrible because everyone was just beefing with each other. Yeah. So through that, Andy and I were like, bruh, no, bruh, let's leave those people.
Let's ditch them.
Let's ditch them. They just ruined our energy. Like, we are the people that started this. We are the people that really love music, and it's not about being famous. And then we started another group, and then myself, and we said, you know what, we need someone to play guitar. We met someone that plays guitar. She was great. But even in that, I was also the person that was seen as their stand because, yeah, I was just younger than both of them. And this person was also older than Andrea. So I was just the young girl in grade 9 trying to sing.
So she came to the group and took over.
Then even with that, I was like, no, you guys, you're going to see me today. And we ended up winning the show on Hectic Nine, actually. And then we got the money, got the laptop, we got everything. And then we started doing gigs, and we even did like another show, a tribute show, Metro FM. But then things don't last long if it's not authentic, if everyone isn't coming from a genuine place, if there's no passion, you know. So it just fell apart.
It's group dynamics.
Yeah, definitely.
And generally, it's group dynamics to sustain a group because everybody got their own ideas and there's too many individuals, and then it starts tearing apart.
Yeah.
But now the question becomes, do you think Cape Town was also a factor? Because that's where you grew up. You know, was Cape Town a factor? Because it wasn't Cape Town is not a music industry city.
Yeah.
Do you think that factor also delayed you becoming popular? And this is now leading to your Bongani, video.
I mean, I would say so, yes. But at the same time, I would also post on Facebook. Like, every single week, I had a different cover. Back then, like, 4K views was a lot. You know, so in my high school, life was fun because a lot of people, like all my schoolmates, thought I was, cool. So I was known as a girl that can sing. So it was always a thing. It wasn't necessarily because I was from Cape Town that even hindered me from, doing music. I think maybe the popularity a bit because I wasn't in those spaces where there were also people wanting to make it as big. But there was a time when music was cool. Like, I really enjoyed it. I even did a song. It's on SoundCloud. I listened to it the other day. I was like, yo, so young. It's called Who I Am. It was like an EDM joint. I was still trying to find my sound. He wrote the whole song. And that song was actually trending. We performed in a couple places in Cape Town. So, yeah.
Okay. So here is young Miss Gemma. She decides to leave Cape Town. I believe this is 2021.
22.
22, because I was in Cape Town by the time you left.
Yeah, I was visiting 22, but then 23 was when I made the
2023. Okay. Because I remember that we lived in opposite cities because I was thinking you still live.
Yeah, I remember.
And then, boom, she decides to get here. What motivated you to come here? Were you trying to get to that place where Gemma is now noticed as a solo artist and someone serious in the business?
Remember, this is now after Bongani had posted me. And
so Bongani posted you while you were in Cape Town.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The end of 2022.
Gotcha.
That's when Bongani randomly posted me. And then me on 2K followers, thinking, why am I getting all these followers? That time my Instagram was on privates. So I would get free.
Oh, you were on private at the time?
I was low-key.
Yeah.
Like, Facebook was mostly popular back then. Instagram wasn't as popular.
What, 2022?
Well, for me.
For you, okay, gotcha.
Instagram was just growing compared to how it is
well,
now.
Considering that Facebook is a communal, as opposed to Instagram, it's more
just
open
like
to everybody,
CV,
right?
Yeah, like so my Instagram was on privates, and then I just started getting all these requests, and I had to unprivate it, and then I just got so many followers. Within like a month, I had like 4 or 5K followers.
I mean, give a shout out to Bongani.
Yeah, I do. I really do. Shout out Bongani. Love you, Unc. And after that happened, need to remind you, in 2022, I would come and visit my friends that I had befriended when I was here. and they also do music. They all lived in the same house.
Everyone does music around you. Your whole family, every single one, mom, dad, auntie, sister, great uncle, they
Yeah.
all do family, and your friends. Boom, you come to Johannesburg.
Yeah, and they were like, Jim, just live with us. Come move here, bro. Like, we'll help you figure out your music, what sound you want to do. We'll just help you. And I moved here, and yeah, that's it. Like, I
The rest
moved
was
here, and the
history.
rest was history. Like,
You speak about a lot of confidence issues, right? When I met you, you were very closed off. I mean,
reserved.
you really walk like this. It's not that you as a person have individual issues. You tend to be more reserved, that you mentioned, and you only start opening up once you get comfortable with people. What is the reason for that?
I think, I don't know. I think I'm a very empathetic person, and I'm a very understanding person and patient, and basically I'm the I'm the greatest example of someone who allows people to walk over me. Well, used to be, you know. And I think that with all those kind of like that characteristics of is from someone that doesn't mind being that doesn't mind being in the background. Like, no, I'm shy. Like, no, like I think it was just a matter of me not thinking that I'm good enough or like better than like not as good as everyone else.
That's wild listening to that. Now, here you are a Cape Townian girl, you're cultured Cape Townian, you grew up as a colored girl, so to put it. And here you are coming to Johannesburg, and Johannesburg girls are much different to what Cape Town girls. How was it dealing in that environment?
I'm still dealing with it. I think
You haven't like seasoned in yet. You still feeling the vast differences between the core version of you and a regular Johannesburg girl.
yes, and sometimes I'm like, let me tap into being a Johannesburg girl.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does it mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Doing crazy things, guys. You guys are doing crazy things. Just saying.
Right.
Like it's just not my vibe. Like I grew up in a Christian home. Like my mom. Yeah, I just know that my mom and my grandmother would never, like that. And I would also just, yeah, I just wouldn't like no.
Fast forward, now your music is out. You've got a EP called Island 22. Now you've done a whole PR run. We did some of this PR run together,
Mm-hmm.
and you have the same interviews over and over and over and
Yeah.
over again. And I could tell how. I actually saw one status of you saying that it's starting to exhaust your social battery.
Mm-hmm.
But you're doing all these runs. How does it feel, finally getting an official project out?
It feels good. For the longest time, I was confronted with, okay, cool, Gemma, you're a fussy. You look like Brenda. Like, let me tell you how let me let you in my brain first before I say and care about what people are gonna say about what I'm saying. You look like this lady. You have this lady's surname. You you don't have the amount of confidence that a lot of people should have when they want to be.
Especially that of Brenda, because she exuded a lot of
Exactly.
confidence.
Brenda this lady was great. Need I remind you, I've never met her. So I can only speak of what people tell me and what I read. I'm like, then I used to sit with myself and be like, yo, how am I gonna take this name and make my own legacy with that name? And how am I gonna create my own path within that surname? So a lot of times I was really conflicted because it's like, yo, like, how am I gonna do it? Because I was like I
Haven't
told
figured
you,
it out yet.
I haven't like because I have a little bit. Like I told you, like I was always in groups. So I was always fine with being in the shadows. And now it's like I'm in another person's shadow, you know?
Whoa, that's interesting. It feels like your whole life you're running through a shadow, and having that last name as another shadow, even though she's not even here. That is deep. That is actually deep. So having your first EP, do you feel like you're getting further and further? Because you guys are not doing the same genre. You and Brenda are doing completely different genres. You might look alike. You might have the same surname, and but you're doing two different things. Do you feel like I'm finally getting out of that shadow?
A little bit, yeah. Like I think after my EP, people are starting to be like, okay, cool. Like she's not just it's not just a name. She's also an
She
artist.
does her
She
thing.
also has her own brand. And I mean, when I look at pictures of myself and videos, I'm like, yo, you've come a long way. Like the confidence, the way I carry myself as a woman, like the way I dress now, the way I speak. I used to stutter a lot
Really?
more than what I stutter now when I'm nervous. But I'm happy that, I'm getting into my.
You're getting your groove, yeah? Okay. Now, if Brenda were alive, what do you think she would say about you? Considering that you got your music out, you've got your EP, do you think she would be proud? What would be the word she'd bestow upon you?
Yo, I haven't thought about that actually. Probably just encouragement. And especially also, I would probably have opened up to her about the industry and been like, yo, like I came here a year ago and I'm seeing these things. Also, hearing what you've been through, being in these boardroom meetings where I could have been in a lot of similar situations and what she was in. She would have probably encouraged me and given me great words of advice and motivated me. We would probably get a drink, you know what I'm saying?
Get drinks together.
You know?
Well, let's just say in a different lifetime, you are to some degree a reincarnation of her. And we're not even talking about you being a singer or having her last name or you being the same as her. But we do know that, she didn't become Brenda Fassie overnight. She became that person. So we're just going to wait for you to become the Gemma Fassie that you need to be. And we're going to give you the time. I want to congratulate you for your EP coming out. I love the EP. I had the privilege to what is it, host your EP launch. Yeah. So I was privileged to do that, MC it, right? Like basically what I'm doing here. And my words to you are, keep going, girl.
Thank you.
From the first time I found out about you, I was like, yo, this girl got it going on. I knew it just from seeing you and barely knowing your music. I'm like, this girl's going to be a star. And I'm usually not wrong. Yeah, being over 20 years in the business, I know that I'm usually not wrong. And to finally see that moment and getting your EP out and getting the reception, I'm happy to see that. And I'm only wishing you nothing but the best going forward.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for coming.
Thank
you
you.
for coming. Thank you for allowing me to go to all your runs. Thank you for allowing me inside your life and getting to know more about you. And also to clear up the misconceptions about your name
Mm-hmm.
and your last name and your family and all and how you grew up.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, you know the great last name, and now you know the growing great girl with the same last name, Gemma Fassie. Now, I want you to click like, subscribe, and notification on this channel, but also find her at Gemma.Fassie, right? Or Gemma Fassie in all regards. Follow her. Make sure you have some comments. Make sure you go to iTunes, Spotify, and all the streaming platforms and get her music. I love it. Island 22 is the name. And until next time, it's peace out.